Hello, my crafting friends. It's Diane Evans with stampinwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So if this is your first time joining me on YouTube, make sure that you do subscribe. Also, make sure that you hit that bell down below and you'll get notified when I do lives like I'm doing right now. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, just be aware that this is actually a live YouTube that I'm doing. So if I'm commenting with different people, that's only because I am live. And if you're joining me through Facebook, welcome. Remember to share my video. Give me the thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. So it's card sketch number 99. What is a card sketch? It's funny because I've had lots of people that join me on my card sketch challenges, but somebody reached out to me and they said, what is a card sketch? A card sketch is where you get inspiration to create a card by using that card sketch. You don't have to do it exact. When you're just starting out, sometimes it's really good to just go by the exact measurements because it kind of helps you create a card an easy way. So the beauty of, like I say, a card sketch is it gives you inspiration, and everybody that uses it tends to be a different type of a card. So as you can see, I am using the Flowering Tulips. So let's just get right on down to my desktop there. All right, so I'm going to use Flowering Tulips today. I was actually going to use another one, but I thought, you know what? I think what I'll do is I'll use the Flowering Tulips because we can still get this. Plus also just to let you know, this is getting carried forward into the new catalog. So here's card sketch number 99. Can you believe it? Next month or next week is going to be number 100. I'm going to be giving away a special prize just for the card sketch number 99, not the mystery. The mystery is about 100 too, will be 100 as well. But for my card sketch, I am going to do a special draw just for that particular card sketch. Might have a little bit more layers. It might be a bit of a tiny bit of a fancy fold. I'm not sure exactly. I never really know what I'm doing until the morning of. However, I did have this one done yesterday. So it's a regular card base. And then when it says layer number one is this piece here. And you'll see when I bring this in. So I've got my card here, and I've got this I'm just going to put this over to the side there. I've got my cardstock. This is very vanilla. This is the thick very vanilla, and it looks like I've got it too big. Oh my goodness. I'm going to come in. I didn't score it. People have also been asking why, you have it scored already. How do I go about scoring? So I am going to be doing a new back to basics. I'm going to start doing for my beginner group and people that are just starting off with stamping. So I am scoring this at 4 1/4. So let me just go in and score that. And then what I'm going to do then is also fold into the mountain. And that's where you're folding into that lumpy part. And what that does is that gives you an even fold along, or you're even right along this side here. Hello, good morning. Yeah, it's strange that I'm doing it on a Sunday, but I'm doing it on a Sunday because it is, we had a Stampin' Up event. So if you're a demonstrator, or if you ever want to be a demonstrator, you can join different events. We have a really cool thing coming up where we're going to be stamping for 4 hours together with Stampin' Up. So that's going to be kind of fun. All right, so this is my pieces that I've got here. So the first layer is, and if you saw succulent, it happens to be 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. So I'm actually going to do this layer first, and then I'll attach it to the card base. And then your second layer is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. Now, you notice I went and I took my colors, and a lot of times what you can do when you have your colors is take colors from the designer series paper. And I think this is the Flowering Fields. And I think this is one of my favorite. This one and the background one. So I'm going to, this is 1 3/4. So I'm just going to put 1 3/4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to go ahead and put that onto this piece there. That's almost looking like it's not straight. Let me just double check to make sure that I cut that straight. A lot of times when I cut my, oops, see, it's not. It's amazing how you can figure out. So you see, I could tell that that wasn't straight. So I'm just going to go in and make sure that that's good and cut straight. So that's 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. And that's going to layer onto there. That's much better. I'm going to use my glue. And let's go ahead and put that on here. I don't know where you're from, but if you are from the Kamloops area, we sure had some crazy weather yesterday. Apparently it snowed in parts of Kamloops. I didn't have snow. I had hail late afternoon, but rather strange. Mind you, April, you can get any kind of weather. Now, I cut this piece of designer series paper, 1 inch by 5 1/4, and I'm going to layer that onto there. But I also cut on the back of this piece of paper. I cut this 1/2 inch. So I did that like that so that I could layer that on so I've got the same on each side. So let's go ahead and put that on. I don't grow tulips, but I think in our area tulips have now started sprouting through. Let's see if that's going to work, or do I have to move that? Let me just see. No, that'll be okay. So I'm just going to stick that down, making sure that it's good and even up at the top, because if it's not even at the bottom, I can just go and trim that off afterwards. So I've turned this piece over, and I'm going to glue that onto this piece, 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. So that's layer 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'll just put this on. This one happens to have a directional way that the paper goes as well. Same with the tulips. So I'm just putting that on there like that. So talk about giving you kind of a different sort of look just by using designer series paper and switching the designer series paper up. All right, so it's just off by a little tiny bit. So I'm just going to, hello, Wisconsin, you finally got some sunshine. Yeah, it's sunny out there today. I can see it through my studio window. All right, so that's going to go on here. Pretty simple card, right, so far? So then what I do is I went the layering circles. I did a 2 7/8 inch circle, and I did that as a scalloped circle, and then I've got this, a very vanilla. Now in this card sketch here, it has a sentiment there. I am thinking, do I want to put a sentiment there or put the sentiment onto the circle? Now, this is where you can vary as a card sketch. So I'm actually going to use this stamp set right there. And then what I can do is I can come in, and there's this piece. See how I knocked those pieces out? I just flick them out. I thought instead of having, like, this has got the sentiment there, I think what I could do is I'm just going to put this little piece down here. So let me just cut this off. And I'm just going to layer that onto this part here. So I'm still getting the look of the sentiment being down there. However, I'm using a part of the dies that come with this tulip dies. So see how I've just sort of switched that up just a tiny bit. So let me just go ahead and put that on there. This is such a pretty die. And like I say, it's so nice that this is carried forward into the new catalog. I can't wait to start playing with stuff from the new catalog. However, I tend to continue to play with the stuff that we've got that we can still play with. Because honestly, the colors from last year were amazing. Okay, so then this can just go onto here like so. So we're just giving a bit of a different sort of look. I hope I've got that down far enough. Let's see. Jeez, I hope. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so if I want, I could turn around and I could pop this piece up. I'm thinking it's pretty heavy, and I'm thinking to myself, maybe it would be best to actually use my glue. So let me just go in. Felt like I was going to sneeze there. So I'm just going to put that in about like that. Make sure it's even, top and bottom. And then this is my scallop circle. So that's going to go there. And then this is going to go there. Now, do I want to use some ribbon? I could have used some ribbon on there. I didn't. Not in my original thought, but that's okay. I can go ahead and do that. So now what I want to do is I want to do a bit of stamping on here. So I'm going to use Cajun Craze, even though that's not a color that's in here. It's a color that's going to show up with my sentiment. So I'm going in with my thank you stamp. And I'm just going to, oh, you know what? And I need to put this on with my paper piecing mat. So let me just go here. And I'm just going to, oh my goodness, can I get into the center there? Just like that. And then I'm going to actually use my paper pumpkin. I'm just going to bring this onto here. And I'm going to stamp a couple of the tulips on here. Now this is two-step stamping. So I'm just using pumpkin pie. I could mix this up with different colors as well. So let's see. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to stamp off. Let me just put this right about there. And then with my bigger, the top one, I'm going full strength, and then I'm just going to line that up. These two-step stamps are pretty forgiving as well. So let's put one there, and let's go ahead and put another one over here. Whoops. And one right about there. Then I'm coming in full strength with this. And just put that like that. There we go. And you know what? I know now what I could do with this to give it a bit of more sort of stuff on there. So that's going to go like that. See how that's going onto there. Now this might have been too big of a circle for this particular what I've done on here, but I'm going to come in actually with my linen thread, and I'm thinking to myself what I might do is, yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come in, turn this over, and I'm going to come use my seal and put it onto the back. And let's just go. What mat is this? This mat is a paper piecing mat. Piercing mat. It used to be used for, we used to do a lot of paper piercing and that sort of stuff, but this mat is in the catalog, and it's acts as an extra cushion with your photopolymer stamp sets. So I hope that answered your question. All right, so I am just going to go ahead and let's just go and loop some of this behind. Lots of people do different things with this. I'm just going to come in and just loop. Yeah. And I'm kind of letting it go where it wants to go. I'm going to also come in and use my dimensionals on here. Now, I am putting a light color onto a dark color. So I am going ahead and I am using my dark dimensionals. My black dimensionals on here. When I see the white dimensionals against a dark color, I don't know, for some reason it just makes me uneasy. So I always use my black dimensionals for that. So let me just cut this off. Might have to rearrange that, but let's see how that's going to look. Oh, it's going to look good. I'm going to pop that up a little bit there. Okay, so let's come in with our Take Your Pick tool and use this here. Let's see. This is just going to go on here like so. And then I can go ahead and layer this on here black. So like I say, we could have gone a little bit smaller, but I'm okay with this one. And let's just put this about there. And then I'm just holding that down. Now I want to put some gems on there as well. And these genial gems are, they're retiring. So I'm going to use these while I still can. And I'm going to use these ones, but I'm thinking to myself, they're kind of a little pinky color. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab my paper pumpkin, or my pumpkin pie Stampin' Blends. And I'm just going to go in. Oops, that one looks like I've almost done that on the end. I've got my other one here. So I'm just going to go in, taking the brush end, and I am going to color some of these. I don't know if I'm going to use 2 big ones or 2 little ones. So, all right, just let that dry for a second. It doesn't take very long because it is alcohol ink. And then let's just go ahead and put these on here. And you know what? I might use another big one. Whoops, I got a little bit of something on there, the glue off of there. There we go. So there's my card for my sketch today. I hope you're going to join in. Make sure that you do join into my Facebook group. And I did put that, I believe, I've got that in below in the description on the YouTube. But the Facebook group, I'm seeing that most of you are from my Facebook group anyways, because I'm not seeing your names. But if you go in, you can join through the Facebook group and then put it's card sketch #99. Oh my goodness. That's such a, I can't believe that it's been that many already. And I guess it's been since the beginning of COVID. So I didn't do it every week because I wasn't switching up, and I wasn't, I wasn't switching up, and I wasn't doing it where if I had an event. Next week is card sketch number 100. So like I say, I have a special prize that I'm going to give away for that. Yeah, I really do appreciate what you're doing there. 99. I know, Marjorie, I cannot believe that it's number 99 as well. And really look back and see how many you've actually done on there. It's really quite amazing to see how many people have actually gone there. So make sure that you give me the thumbs up. Make sure that you do share my video. Make sure that you do go ahead. You do subscribe. And if you do live in Canada and you do not have a demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. I have a very generous online reward program for the people that have certain purchase sizes and everything else. So have a great day. We will see you tomorrow. About 11 o'clock Pacific time is when I'm going to be playing with something from the mini catalog, and it might be retiring. It might not be retiring. We don't have that list yet, but we kind of have an idea of what might, but other things just might be carried forward. So we're hoping, keeping our fingers there. Thank you. Oh, your festival starts next week. Oh my goodness. Unfortunately, we don't have that. I am believing that that might be, I don't know who's saying that, but I know there's a tulip festival down Abbotsford Way. There's a tulip festival in Utah. There's tulip festivals, and of course over in Holland. Anyways, you guys have a great day. And we will see you tomorrow, we hope. Bye for now. Oh, Catherine. Yes, Catherine. So down in your area, of